Live from the Preston Highway Studios, it's 24-Hour Purple People.
Well, hello, and welcome back to 24-Hour Purple People. My name is John Harper, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have you guys along for the ride this evening. And we're all set to talk Louisville City FC, Racing Louisville, and all sorts of purple. And on tonight's program, we've got some friendlies for you, friendly faces out there, and just all sorts of general shenanigans. I don't know. We're going to go all over the place today. I guarantee you that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And joining me for that fun is a man who has a new introduction this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to let you know this is brand new. Here we go. He is Lord Chaos, a.k.a. DJ Casper. He is the Dungeon Master of supporter group Sagas, a camper van craftsman whose stats rival XG charts, decoding soccer data like a bourbon-laced prophecy. His playlists are always pitch perfect. Mr. Ken Luther. Ken, what's up, man? How are you?
Hello. You did marvelously on that intro that I most certainly wrote myself with no assistance from anything artificial.
You know, one of these days I'm going to give you the controls and have you say these introductions.
There will be no show. I will hit all the wrong buttons.
Yeah. Well, you know.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Man. I had a long day at work. Mondays are always the worst day of the week at my job, but it went by pretty quick. And I had a great time this weekend. We had two friendlies, Ken, something we don't get to say very often. Two friendlies back to back at home, Saturday and Sunday.
I don't think anybody told Kayla Fisher it was a friendly. Did you see her out there? You missed that game. Yes. She's not very friendly. I'm just saying.
Yeah, nobody told her. Yeah, I can't wait to hear all about it. I've read quite a bit, but it's going to be good to hear some eyewitness accounts of this first ever match between those two sides, and that's going to be a lot of fun to dissect somewhat. Also, while I'm on you might see there's purple here, but it's Orlando City. A shout out to Kyle Smith, 200 appearances with Orlando City, all-time team record there for Kyle Smith, former Louisville City. So,
the accountant is what we called him.
The accountant, yes. All right. So, Matt is on vacation. It's all part of his contract. He had a very extensive contract. I did not. I didn't see anything like that in mine. So,
yeah, I didn't see anything in mine either.
I also want you to know, Ken,
I get paid twice as much. My pay is doubled for this show, right?
Well, what is double of zero? I don't know. Zero. I don't know if you remember back in the day on the original program back in 2022. Anytime that we did a dual setup like this, Katie was in control of the red cards, and I regret to inform you that this evening she is in control of the red cards. So it is possible that I will get one. I'm gonna have to be on my best behavior. I took the trash out before this, so I'm hoping that that gets me some brownie points.
I think we need to review the rules of the red card, especially if a red card is inappropriately given. Because I believe I received a red card last show.
You did?
For not fully committing to the friendlies, correct? That was the call.
Yes, in particular the Saturday friendly you had not committed to. That was
did go, and I also went to the Sunday friendly. What did you do this weekend?
I went to the Saturday friendly, but I did not go to the Sunday friendly. I didn't go.
Yeah, so
I don't think she heard that. Yes,
all right,
I did. I took the trash out. Yes, honey. All right. So Saturday night at the FAM, Louisville City welcoming La Liga side Leganés.
Oh, hold on. That's a foul already. That's a misnomer. It's not a La Liga side. They are second division, Segundo Dos, or whatever the second division is called.
Yeah.
They just got relegated, right?
Yes, they were in. Well, actually, this is the second year that they're going to be in League Two of La Liga. Um, they were relegated 2023 into 2024.
Right. Okay. So a little bit of a misnomer to say they are a La Liga side. They have been
Yes.
in the past. It certainly was advertised as a La Liga side, but that's actually not technically true.
That's not technically true, but it is true that they beat Barcelona, and they've had a pretty good run of things, I guess you could say. I mean, this team, we talked about last week that we're excited about. You really talked about the counterattack and all the things that we would see from these sides. That they played a very similar style. I guess before we get to the match, we kind of took a bit of a detour before the match. So went some places we don't normally go.
Yeah, that's like these matches that are not normal. Sometimes we'll do different stuff because I love running out and doing different things sometimes. So instead of doing the tailgating thing, we just bar hopped kind of down Bardstown Road, ended up at El Nepal, drinking very cheap beers, maybe a little Patron rolling around.
Yeah.
Made the game very fun.
Yeah.
By the time I got there.
Yeah, we actually had Bud Light that was actually a Bud Light Lime. We didn't know it, but
we didn't know it. Yeah, so it's kind of cool sometimes to do something a little bit different. Plus, it was super raining and super hot, so maybe the tailgating thing wasn't going to be as fun. So when we got up to the lot, everybody had already gone in, and we saw the remnants of a tent that had gotten hit by a storm.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks for the tailgaters to lose another one of their large tents, but up on that tailgate lot, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, those are very expensive. When I got after the match, I walked up there and I saw the big skeleton of the giant tent. For those of you who are not familiar, used to Doug and gang would put up, probably a dozen at least of your normal size, were they 8x8s, tailgating, 10x10s, tailgating tents. And this season, I guess it's been there the whole season, but they've changed that into, they have two of those.
I think so, yeah.
Two of these gigantic, I'm talking, they've got to be at least, 20 by 15 or something, 20 by 12 or something. I don't know, but they're huge. So when I went out to the tailgate after the match, the post-match tailgating area, I asked Rick, I was like, oh yeah, I heard about it, and all that. I was like, the word got around or whatever. And I said, well, hopefully we'll get some more. And he was like, yeah, I think Doug ordered them while they were like taking the one down that was broke.
Before the game even started.
Yeah, Doug, bless him. He don't mess around. But yeah, I had a good time. I don't normally go to those areas where you frequent. I prefer places with parking lots, but I had a great time on Bardstown Road.
Had to park in the back.
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. All right, match time. All
right, do it.
Friendlies are very interesting. I think that the most exciting thing for me personally was I wanted to see some of these young up and coming players in the academy, and we got to see that. I thought the first half of this match, we looked like we were really just balling out there. You could tell that those legs had gotten a little fresher from a little bit of time off. All the players beforehand and the interviews and stuff I was watching, they were all talking about getting a little extra rest, and it was good to see family and all the things they were talking about. So everybody seemed to be in a joviant mood for this. And I felt like the energy in the first half was just really, really good.
I would say first half of the first half was good. Certainly not the starting 11 that you would pick to start a game, but for a friendly, the starting 11 made plenty of sense to me. With Carlos Mogel and on the pitch and Lancaster up top, those aren't things you're normally going to see. So I'm glad they got a lots of minutes, and each player of those two got a lot of minutes during this game. So that was good to see. I think we lost a little bit of, I don't know what it was, synchronization, fluidity, or something when they made the first round of subs, which I believe was McCabe and some other folk, one or two other folks that came on in the first round. And you could tell that when those subs changed, certainly when Taylor Davila came off because he was probably playing under limited minutes, things changed, and I felt like we were not the same team. Not to take anything away from the players that came on, I just felt like that we lost kind of control of the game at that point. And then it just became lots of players coming on. I felt like it was transitioning between either being a testimonial for our older players or we were going to watch an academy high school game by the end of the pitch or by the end of the game. So that was okay. I think we took we're going to play the new academy kids, give them a run out to the extreme. I don't particularly know the politics of that. I don't know if that was insulting the team that we played or they were doing the same thing, because I don't know their team. So I thought that was interesting. The two academy players that we saw play for most of the game, which was Days and Canal. I say that right? Canal. Yeah. I thought they played very well. Considering the talent, considering the friendly nature of the game, it wasn't a high stakes game, so a little bit hard to tell. But I thought those two played really well. I also thought Carlos Miguel made a very good showing, playing almost the full 90, which was great to see him. And I think that was the best game he's had all year. Hard to judge again because it was a friendly, but I'm very glad that he seems like he is back in the form that we first saw him in 1 or 2 years ago. What are your thoughts?
The substitutions were interesting. We saw Damian Loss come off in the 31st minute, same time that McCabe came on for Davila, and we got to see Ryan Troutman get a few minutes in there. Of course, we conceded that second goal with Troutman in a kind of a bang-bang play that I'm not sure too many keepers could have stopped. That was just really quick transition there by the team from Spain. But, I think unlimited subs, right? Friendlies, unlimited subs. We were able to get as many players out there, and we saw some very young talent from Louisville City, a lot of players that a lot of people were looking forward to. I know that talking to some folks before the game, and they were excited to see, Travis Smith. Most of all, I've heard most about Travis Smith, and he had some impressive plays in this match when he came on for that brief time period from DuPont High School, DuPont's own. I'm looking forward to seeing him, and all these guys really just good for them. This is a game they'll never forget, right? I'm just speculating they'll never forget this moment.
I can't imagine they will, considering it was their first kind of start for the club of the academy that they play for. I guess their first pro club. They're not on all pro contracts. I'm sure they're not. They didn't even have their names on the back of the jerseys.
Yeah.
I told Brandon Morris, who's the CEO of the club, on Sunday. I said, y'all must have run out of ink because I didn't see any names on the back of those jerseys of those kids coming on last night. I thought it was a funny joke. He didn't.
Did he laugh?
No, he didn't laugh at all.
He doesn't laugh all that much, yeah.
No.
I mean, it's not every day that you you get out of high school, you're it's the summer, but for this analogy, you walk out of high school, walk onto the pitch, and you're up against a European side in your home city. I mean, that's just pretty amazing for these players. So
I thought it was a little strange though. It seemed like it was to the extreme. I mean, we pretty much brought in what 7, 9 academy players. Just felt like it was a lot. I don't think I've seen academy players come on, even by us or other pro clubs in Europe or whatever before. It's not anything new, but to the extreme of which we took it, maybe that was a little too much. I can imagine that if you came to the field to see 2 pro teams from 2 different continents play a competitive match the whole game, that's not what you got. What you got is a whole bunch of runouts from academy kids, a couple quick runouts from some of our veterans who don't really get a whole lot of minutes right now, and a little bit of our kind of starting lineup. I don't think you got a fluid, organized, well-managed game. So, I personally don't think I saw enough of how we played against how they played. I think we saw that for the first 20, 25 minutes, but then things just kind of fell apart.
yeah, well, I mean, I don't see how you can say this wasn't a competitive game when the final score was 2-1. I mean, I think we battled out there. I mean, there was some moments there late in the second half where things got a little bit more physical out there on the pitch. But yeah, just to recap of these players that we saw, of course, Brandon Days we have seen a few times already. 16 years of age. Hayden Stamp, 17 years of age. Dominic Del Negro, 16 years of age. Evan Woodward, 15 years of age. Grayson Travis, 18 years of age. Luke Petter, 16 years. Just a lot of youngsters, but that is what it's all about. We want to see what our academy is producing, and we both of us believe highly in the academy, the job that the between racing and Louisville City, the academy and George Davis IV and all the different people that are involved from lore of days gone, Louisville City, what they're producing for us out there. I'm super excited, and Brandon Days seems like he is fitting right in. This is a friendly, and we know that things were going to be a little bit different than the normal game. I do have some highlights. I do have Jansen's go here.
That was a great goal.
Let me see if I can.
And I think it's surprised. I think it surprised the Spanish side. I don't think they expected that. They're trying to close them down. They weren't quick enough to it, and he just popped it right over him.
Yeah. No, he popped it all right. That was absolutely phenomenal.
I watched the game, at least that half of the game, kind of from high up in the stands on the side. And
some violent flag waving.
I felt like that in that part of the game, which was the first 20, 25 minutes before the first sets of subs came in at 31, I felt like we were much better organized. They were not as well organized. And I don't know, Cameron Lancaster probably had 5 or 6 good chances throughout the game he was unable to capitalize on. So, yeah, it was competitive, and yeah, we lost, but
look at that mustache.
Once we started making those, that mustache is fire. Once we started making those subs, I think the competitive edge of the game was lost. I'm not saying that we should play our starters until their legs fall off. We did absolutely the right thing resting them. I'm just saying to say that was a competitive match for 90 minutes, that's not the case.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Well, nevertheless, ended 2-1. Had a great time. It was good to see Joe at the match. Good to see a lot of people. Good to be up in the stands for the full 90. Something I'm not accustomed to. So that was pretty cool. Also, shout out to Matt Owens rocking the new Cooper's jersey, which is absolutely fire. But I'm not used to being up in the stands, Ken. As you know, I uphold your honor, and I am quite in love with capoing. But there was no capos, there was no drums, there was not banners, which was kind of a rain decision, I believe.
Yeah, but Capos and drummers weren't rain; they were just resting because it was friendly, right?
Right. Yes. Just resting. Um, I kind of it kind of got me wondering. Something that I wonder. And sometimes we talk about this sometimes on our Discord, actually, that you can join right there by scanning our QR code with whatever device you want, and join our Discord, and you can be a part of these conversations off the show. But I felt that it made for an interesting dynamic in the stadium. There were moments where I kind of thought it was very quiet at times. Whenever a particular play happened, you would hear oohs and ahs and stuff like that a lot more than I'm accustomed to hearing, which was pretty cool. There was a moment in the second half. It was around the 65th minute, give or take, where all of a sudden there was an eruption of some songs and chants coming from the Estopanol end. And funny enough, I was watching the post-match interview with Coach Cruz, and he actually kind of alluded to it. And I'd like to play a little bit from that. Let me see if I can bring that up without blowing up too much stuff on here. Let's see here.
I thought we
right.
started the game really, really well. Created a lot of chances, quality chances, and started with an intense atmosphere. The one thing I will say that I think is really important for our fans to know is there was a moment there. I don't know the minute, but it's probably around the 75th where they get they get the crowd going. And when the fans get the crowd going, the players feed off of that. And I think that's something that's really important here for us as we go down the stretch is when that happens, the players feel it. And I thought it was really excellent from them when they took over and started the different chants. You could feel it. And I think those are important moments for us as a team.
So they got those chants started and they got those going. And when it's important when them and they all do that thing they do, every time they do that thing they do.
Reminds me of that Sophie Tucker song. Who the fuck are they?
Well, they being, somebody has to start a chant to get it going, right? You can't just.
Doesn't happen. It's not spontaneous. It needs to be started by people. I think around 65 minutes or maybe a little bit later, we had gone through at least one or two iterations of subs. CD Leganés was holding on to the ball, moving it from side to side and not really doing a whole lot with it. And I think they felt that they needed to do something to lift the team up. So when you go through 60 some odd minutes of relative silence, the oohs and the ahs, starting a song like that, I think it's a cool thing. And then they proceeded to sing many songs after that, including made up songs about the academy, which was a lot of fun. I can't remember what they were, but they were fun. What was the song they were singing?
They don't know.
They don't know. They don't remember either.
They don't remember.
Only about 12-year-old players.
Yeah. Louisville City's 12 years old. Louisville
City's 12 years old.
Yeah.
That was the last song of the night.
This is why we have so much fun, folks. If and we are open arms. Come hang out with us up in the stands, high up in the stands. We always have a good time up there. I think it was interesting, Coach Cruz saying that. And when we kind of heard that, we kind of thought, when they lead these songs, and it kind of got us talking a little bit on Discord about how we are so accustomed to the way that we get the atmosphere going. And when I say we, and I just kind of mean the Groove Machine, the Capos, the combination of how we've always kind of done things. This was an enlightening situation for me, Ken. I don't want to say it was life-changing, but I see things a little bit differently today, but differently than I did before the match. So
Do you now?
Yeah,
How long has one of they been talking about doing things slightly differently?
They might have been talking about it for a while.
They might have.
Yeah, we have to quit doing pronouns. No. What I'm saying is I think sometimes less is more in some situations, and I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. What I think what was really cool about it is when they started singing. I think "We Love You" was the first one, right? So when they started singing that, immediately everybody in the section started singing it with them. And I mean, everybody down on the front rail where normally the drummers are, there were still drummers down there without drums, just hanging out watching the game. They were singing. Everybody was getting into it. And, it was kind of a little bit of one of those little magical moments that happens ever so often in a match. And so that was pretty cool. I had a good time. I just thought it was really cool that Danny talked about it in the post-game interview. And I actually went back and watched the match. And during that portion, I like cranked it up on the volume to see if I could hear it. I actually came through pretty clear. So yeah, that was pretty fun.
It is, and it does make a difference when the whole stadium gets behind the players. I think which is the point he was trying to make.
Well, whoever they are, we thank you very much for getting that place rocking, because it was a pretty decent crowd. I think the official attendance numbers it was over 6,000. But
and it's at 6,500, right around there.
Yeah. So I mean, not a bad crowd. This is not like playing Frankfurt. Frankfurt, obviously, I would say in America is a better known team. I think that goes without saying. But this is also a team that, at the end of the day, we kept up with. No matter the substitution situation you were talking about, we kept up with. We proved ourselves to a European side. I think there's this predeceived notion that a lot of these American teams cannot hang with European teams. And I don't think really that's going to always be the case. And I think we had a good showing.
I don't know a ton about La Liga and the structure and the difference between the divisions in Spain. What I do know is it was second division side that's been in the second division for 2 years that are in preseason, that are just trying to get their shit together. And we are a team in form in the middle, and we did not play all of our starters. If it had been a real competitive match playing for something that mattered, then I think we can hold our own against a club like that. They may have some more technical superiority. They may have some better individual players, but I think our players are just as good to be in a league like that. And our organization and our effort and the way we play is comparable to any second division club in Spain.
Absolutely. Well, Saturday wasn't the only friendly of the weekend, of course. Hosting Lexington SC, a team from the USL Super League, the women's side, USL. First off, nice kits, Lexington. I thought they were rather nice.
Yeah.
This was a match that Ken, 6 p.m. start. I had no idea the rules as far as the friendly, this going into penalties, right?
They decided at the end of the game to do practice penalties. And I think I listened to whoever the second coach is for Racing Louisville, can't remember his name right now, said that it's good experience to take penalties in front of a crowd after you've played for 90 minutes. So going back to this friendly, this is an appropriate place in the season to have a friendly because NWSL is on a break. They're redoing all of their contracts. They're getting ready for the second half of the season. They're going into a tournament where they're going to play for hardware in Brazil. I think for Racing Louisville, this was a perfect time to have a friendly against Lexington. Compared to the timing of Louisville City's friendly, which I don't think was great, which is why we kind of saw what we saw on Saturday. That aside, I looked forward to this friendly to see some not only younger players make their pro debut, and we had 4 of them, but also to see a few academy players play. And I was very happy to see some of the players that had been injured back on the bench, and eventually they came back in and played the game. I'm specifically talking about Ellie Pikiamsa and Bethany Balser, also Baggett. She has also been injured, if I'm not mistaken. Saw her back out on the field as well. So that gives me a lot of hope and confidence as we head back in, as well as we head to Brazil first, and then head back into this second part of the season, because we were already playing very well, and now we're starting to get healthy at the same time. I think that's a great and wonderful thing.
Yes, absolutely. Keeping the legs fresh. We talked about last week. Bit of a break here for racing, and we don't want to get too I don't know. I don't want to say rusty, but it's good to keep things fresh. Soccer is takes a lot of endurance.
We weren't that sharp, that's for sure. We had a lot of chances and a lot of missed opportunities, like both teams over the weekend. But Racing had a lot of struggled a lot to convert their chances. Once they were able to get it into the final third, and they were able to get the ball into the box, but being able to convert that into a goal, I think has been an enduring problem, and it continues to be an enduring problem. As much as I like Kayla Fisher, she's pretty much one of my favorite players on the team. I still think she can work a little bit more on her touch and shots inside the box there. There's only so much physicalness that you can give. Really got to get some good feet, and I think we'll start to see dividends returned on that. The pro debuts for us: Allie George, Avery Caletta, Christina Roque started in goal. I think I'm saying her last name correctly, and Madison White. And then we also had a young number 50 without the name on the jersey, which tells us academy. And that was Charlie Soria. I think I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She's had some games for the youth national team. So definitely
she's a Notre Dame committed, right?
Right. Committed to Notre Dame. Definitely somebody to keep your eye on as she grows, develops, and becomes a full-fledged professional soccer player. So seeing some of our players back was very exciting for me.
Any concerns that on paper maybe we would think that we would really beat a team like this pretty handedly, or it's just a friendly, no big deal?
I don't have any super concerns because, again, we weren't really playing. We didn't start Taylor Flint. We started Coletta in that holding midfield role. She did pretty well, and then she subbed off fairly early, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was an injury or it just wasn't working, and they were going to do that. I think we had the measure all game. I think they hung in there and were able to have a organized defense against us, and we were unable to finish because the score should have been higher. And then they were able to get one on probably some mistakes on our part. So we're definitely going to want to take a look at that. But I wouldn't be so worried that we did, score 6 goals and walk away with a huge crushing defeat on Lexington. I think it was good enough play. We saw enough to be able to work on some things, and they'll continue to work on some things when they go down to Brazil, because I really want us to be ready to take on Kansas City.
Yep, and the Women's Cup heading to Brazil, July the 19th is the first match of that. I want to circle back to something. I have Kyle Smith in my brain, and I think I said Travis Smith, and it's Grayson Travis from the academy. Yeah. My bad.
Make it up new account. Well, they didn't have any names on their jerseys, so nobody knew who they were except their mom.
That's true. I just realized I said that because I'm over here. I was looking at my racing notes, and for some reason it was scrolled way up, and then I was like, "Crap! Why did I say Travis Smith earlier?" Anyway, all right. Chris is going to give me some crap for that. I know. Yeah, as he should. We have some more matches coming up. We have back to USL Championship, as Louisville City is hosting Tulsa this weekend. That game is on Friday. Am I correct? I believe it is.
No, it's on Saturday.
It's on Saturday.
It's on Saturday.
Is it on Saturday? Okay.
I'm
almost
sure.
I think you're right. Okay, so Tulsa coming to town. Tulsa is a team. They're 7 games unbeaten right now. They are really making a push to make the playoffs this year. And, of course, Luke Spencer is at the helm on FC Tulsa, a team that plays on a pitch, something that Luke Spencer, the hero of the 2018 championship match, is very familiar with. He's got this team.
Baseball stadium, right? Playing a baseball field.
Yep, they sure do. He's got this team. They are right now just kind of firing on all cylinders. They've got a explosive offense at times. I mean, their season has been anything but dull at this point, setting a 6-3-4 record. 22 points, but like I said, unbeaten in the last 7. A wild win over the Las Vegas Lights last weekend, 4-3.
Yep.
Excited to see Luke's boys coming to town here.
I am. I think because before Luke, it was Mario Sanchez. So I think they play very much like our style. So seeing a team that's going to play like us and match up against us is going to be a lot of fun. Their attack is firing on all cylinders, like you said. So it's going to test our defense a little bit. I very much am interested, based on recent performances, who we're going to have playing in our holding midfield roles. Taylor Davila for sure, and then I'm not sure anymore because Carlos played so well on Saturday, and Kevin Lambert can be hot, cold, and sometimes get himself into trouble. So we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the familiar faces in what you would think the starting 11 is going to be are going to be fielded because this is a game that we need to take 3 points out from. It's a home game, and we need to regain the lead in the East because there's only one other team that's a true threat to us from winning the Players' Shield, and that is Charleston. And we are trading who's first pretty much every week now. So any points lost is going to put us into a position that we don't want to be in.
Yeah, and that victory against Las Vegas actually propelled FC Tulsa to 25 points. They're sitting at second in the West right here.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Luke Spencer, back in the day when we did Barrel Proof, we interviewed Luke Spencer when he basically first came on the team. And one of the things I take away from that interview was that he is a student of the game. He picked up leadership positions in the academy and then the club at Louisville City very quickly upon his retirement of his playing career. And it was not very long before he made that transition out to Tulsa to take the head coach job. So I think he's very good at it, and I think he's going to be around coaching, managing soccer clubs for a while. So don't be surprised if Tulsa becomes a very good club and Luke Spencer either stays there or moves up somewhere else, somewhere bigger and better, kind of like our own coach. So very interesting, because Louisville City is not only producing world-class talent on the field, but they're also producing world-class coaching talent, which is a great thing to see.
Yeah, I think that Luke Spencer's got a bright future. There's no doubt about it, and it will be very interesting to see this team. This is a team that, like we said, they have a lot of firepower, and they play in a division. The West is kind of all over the place, and it'll be interesting to see how they match up against an Eastern powerhouse as we are. But you've got some real goal scorers on that team, and if Tulsa breaks through our press, if they get in behind the press, storming down the pitch, I mean that might be troublesome for Louisville City in some circumstances, but it's not going to be like their match against Las Vegas. We are a completely different squad, obviously, and we've been winning games with defense, and I think that we're going to get the job done on Saturday at 8 p.m. I don't know why I thought it was a Friday game.
Yeah, the press is interesting. I'm definitely going to want to get high in the stands and watch this game, because where they set the line of confrontation, which is kind of how high your press is going against a team like this, who also plays a similar style. I have no idea, because I'm I'm just a pundit that doesn't get paid on YouTube. So that is something I'm gonna watch, to where our strikers, really, who start the press, are going to be confronting Tulsa.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at some of these stats, top 10 in the goals scored per match. They're not conceding very many goals. Yeah, they seem like they've got, a pretty good squad out there. And again, we love Luke. We love Luke. We can't not love Luke, but he knows the deal coming to Louisville, so it's gonna be
he does.
Be a tough environment for sure. News and notes around the league I'd like to cover a little bit. Nothing too major, but we saw a draw yesterday, Pittsburgh and Loudoun. I know Matt talked about Pittsburgh looking like they were starting to turn a corner and possibly getting a little hotter. But right now, things are looking good in the championship table. I believe Charleston had a. Let me just make sure before I screw this up. Charleston win?
Yes, I think they did, and they took the lead.
But
they beat New Mexico United.
Yes.
As I just read it, I didn't see it, but I believe the second goal that they earned in that contest was an own goal from New Mexico United. So New Mexico United, you didn't do us any favors.
No.
So you're not getting any thanks. Interesting things that are happening in the Eastern Conference. Tampa Bay Rowdies are last. Mm-hmm. Like legitimately last.
Yeah, Hartford passed them with a big win at Detroit.
Speaking
what
of
is happening this year?
Detroit is also not only not great this year, they're still in seventh, but they've only had one win since like May 1st. I mean, they must have an injury crisis going on or something. I don't know, but it's definitely an interesting year. I mean, you see some of the usual suspects at the top of the table, like Pittsburgh, but then you also have Loudoun in North Carolina, which are quality sides. And then you have a whole bunch of surprises down at the bottom of the table. And it's not Miami that's last anymore, or Hartford. It's Tampa Bay. So craziness. I don't know anything about the West, really. What I do know is that Colorado Springs Switchbacks are in last, So Brad Estes is probably feeling the heat.
Yeah.
He's not the manager.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, Louisville City sitting in second at the moment. 17 plus go differential. Charleston with a 19 plus go differential. These teams are just they're on a collision course for August the 9th.
They are. It's going to be great.
It's going to be
Can't
wild.
wait for that.
Yep, absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if they throw that one up on ESPN2 or whatever. That's going to be a big game.
Yeah, it'll be huge. It'll be huge, no doubt. All right, Ken. Well, that's really all we are going to cover this evening that I can think of. Is there anything else you'd like to cover?
No, I'm good. I think we covered everything. You know, sometimes we don't tailgate. We go to pubs in and around our city, and that's a whole lot of fun. Got that one. Talked about singing songs when the team needs it to lift them up, getting the whole stadium. They all know the words. Come on, the easy ones. Getting the whole stadium to sing. That would be pretty fun. Other than that, we're good, man.
Yeah, they do know. They do know the words. And sing along if you'd want. And you can always join us on that Discord, as I was talking about earlier. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more ridiculous content. We will be on Spotify with this podcast as well, if you'd like to just listen to us and not look at Ken's ugly face. And pretty soon we'll be on Apple Podcasts, and that'll be exciting once we pass all the
we haven't passed the test yet.
Yeah, go through all the exams that you have to go through with Apple. So yeah, shout out to everybody out there for watching. We really appreciate it.
I got one thing. I heard today that parts of the Lexington Stadium are selling out. So if you are planning on going to the Lexington game for the Jägermeister Cup, then you should probably look at getting tickets soon or having a plan, because I haven't gotten tickets yet. And it looks like some of the visiting sections are sold out or are in resale. So just so you know, that seems to be a fairly popular place for the people in purple.
Yeah, we're going to have a purple out in Lexington.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a fun stadium, about 7,500 seats or so, give or take. So we've got the opportunity to really show out there. It's not that far of a drive, people.
Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. For Ken Luther, I'm John Harper. We are 24-hour Purple People, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye, fam. Bye-bye. Love you. That's for you.